You are sitting in the comfort of your home. You look up at the ceiling or the wall, and you see a small creature scurrying across, a reptile with pale skin and bulging eyes. Most of us feel a natural sense of disgust. We feel a desire to get it out of the house. We call it the house lizard or the gecko, and we think of it as just a common pest. But in the vast and detailed teachings of Islam, this creature is not just a random reptile. It carries a dark history that goes back thousands of years, and it carries a specific ruling from the Prophet. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, commanded us. He gave a clear instruction regarding the wazaj. He told us to kill it wherever we find it, and he promised a massive reward for doing so. This sounds strange to the modern sensitivity. Why would a religion of mercy command violence? Why would the Prophet, who cared for cats and birds, declare a war on this specific small lizard? Today, we are going to uncover the ancient feud, the story of the fire of Prophet Ibrahim, and why this animal is considered an enemy of faith and a carrier of both physical and spiritual harm. The Prophet, peace be upon him, called it al-Fuwaisik. This is a nickname that means the little vermin, or the little evildoer that causes corruption. He stripped it of its innocence with one word, and he set a bounty on its head for the believers. He said, whoever kills a gecko with the first blow, there are written for him 100 good deeds, and with the second blow less than that, and with the third blow less than that. This detail about the number of blows is fascinating. It encourages efficiency and skill in the act. He did not want us to torture the animal. He wanted us to eliminate it quickly and decisively. One strike to end its life and its evil. But the question remains, why all this hatred? What did this small lizard do to deserve this? To find the answer, we must travel back in time, back to the era of the great prophet Ibrahim, the friend of Allah and the father of prophets, who stood alone against the tyrant king Namrud. Ibrahim destroyed the idols of his people. He challenged their false gods and their stars. So the king decided to punish him publicly by burning him alive in the biggest fire ever seen. They gathered wood and fuel for months. They built a fire that was so hot and massive that birds flying miles above it would drop dead, and they threw the prophet Ibrahim into the middle. At that terrifying moment of cosmic injustice, the entire creation of Allah reacted with horror. The heavens and the earth wanted to save him, and the animals on the earth wanted to help. The narration states that all the animals on earth tried to extinguish the fire to save Ibrahim. The frogs carried water in their mouths to pour. The birds flapped their wings to push the heat away. Even the smallest insects tried to do their part. They recognized the prophet of Allah and loved him. They showed their loyalty to the truth instinctively, except for one single creature among them all. The gecko, or the waza, did the opposite. It crawled close to the raging fire of Namrud, and it began to blow on the flames with its breath, trying to make the fire hotter and stronger. It wanted the fire to burn the prophet of Allah. It sided with the tyrant against the believer. It showed a nature that was corrupt and evil, a deep hatred for the light of truth. Of course, its small breath did not change the fire, just as the water of the frog did not put it out. But it was the intention that mattered to Allah. It was the alignment of the heart that counted. The frog became beloved because it tried to help, and the killing of frogs was forbidden by the prophet. But the gecko became cursed because it tried to harm, and the killing of geckos was commanded as a reward. This story teaches us that animals have natures. Some animals have a nature that is compatible with good, and some have a nature that is compatible with evil. The gecko carries the spirit of the enemies of God. By killing it, you are symbolically siding with Ibrahim. You are saying, "O Allah, I am with your friend. I'm against those who blew on the fire, even if it is just a small reptile on my wall." But the harm of the gecko is not just historical. The prophet, peace be upon him, was a pragmatic man. He warned us about the physical harm of this pest. It is a creature that brings disease into the home. Modern science has confirmed what the prophet knew. Geckos are carriers of dangerous bacteria like salmonella. They carry it on their skin and in their droppings, and they love to walk over our food and plates. They crawl through the dirt and then walk on your table. They leave behind waste that can make you sick. In the time of the prophet, they caused other issues. They would walk over the oil lamps used for light, and they would knock the lamps over intentionally, causing fires to start inside the houses of people. So the Fuisik was an arsonist by nature. It loved fire in the time of Ibrahim and in your home. It is a creature that seeks to cause destruction, whether by blowing on the flames of the past or by starting the flames in the present. It is an enemy to the safety of the human being. There is a narration from the mother of believers, Aisha. A woman entered upon Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, and she saw a spear resting in the corner of her room. She asked a mother of believers, "What is this for?" Aisha replied, "We use this spear to kill the geckos, for the Prophet of Allah told us about their treachery." Even the wife of the Prophet was active in this war. She kept a weapon ready for the enemy of Ibrahim. This shows us that your home is your sanctuary. You have the right to defend it from pests. You have the right to remove anything that brings harm, and anything that carries a cursed legacy. Some people might feel bad about killing it. They say it is just an innocent animal trying to live. But we must align our feelings with the Sharia. Our definition of innocence comes from the Creator. If Allah and His Messenger have labeled it a villain, then our misplaced mercy should not stop us. True mercy is obeying the command of the Most Merciful and protecting your family from disease and fire. The reward of 100 good deeds is massive. It is equivalent to freeing a slave in some narrations, or giving a large amount of charity to the poor, all for the simple act of removing a pest. Why is the reward so high for such a small act? Because it requires itiba, or following the sunnah. You are not killing it for sport or for fun. You are killing it because the Prophet said so. You are reviving a forgotten sunnah in your home, and you are connecting yourself to the history of faith. Every time you strike one, you remember Ibrahim, and you remember the fire that became cool and peaceful. Allah said, "O fire, be coolness and safety for Ibrahim." The plot of the gecko and the king failed, just as the plots of the enemies always fail, but the distinction between friend and foe remains. There is also a lesson about the company you keep. The gecko lived among the people of Namrud, and it adopted their hatred and their evil, while the other animals remained on the fitra. Be careful who you hang around with in life. Evil company can corrupt even your basic nature. It can make you blow on the fires of oppression, instead of carrying the water of mercy. So how should you handle this in your house? If you see a gecko, do not scream and run away. Do not let fear paralyze you from the reward. Remember that you are bigger and stronger. Grab a shoe or a stick or a spray and try to get it with the first strike. Make your intention purely for the sake of Allah and cleanse your home from the Fuisik. Do not torture it or play with it. Do not cause it unnecessary pain or suffering. The Prophet commanded excellence, ihsan, in everything, even in the killing of a harmful pest. And teach this story to your children. Tell them why we do not like this lizard. Tell them the story of the great fire and the frog, and teach them to love those who love Allah. This builds a worldview based on faith, where even the animals are part of the story, where every action has a meaning and a reward, and where we are constantly connected to the prophets. So the next time you see those bulging eyes staring at you from the corner of the ceiling, do not see a cute visitor or a roommate. See the ancient enemy of your father Ibrahim. See the breath that tried to burn the truth, and take action to earn your 100 rewards. Your home is a place for angels and peace, not a place for the little blowers of fire. We ask Allah to protect our homes from harm. We ask Him to give us the strength to follow the sunnah. We ask Him to raise us with Prophet Ibrahim, and to save us from the fire of the next life. May Allah grant us the ability to distinguish between the friend of the truth and the enemy, and to have the courage to act upon it with the first blow and the sincere intention.